all these non-Catholics are there. Not only from my class, other classes also joined me. They didn't know what was happening. I said, come on, let's go, and we must complain against all this. So they are there, not knowing what is it all about. People in my classroom, they knew, the boys. So what happened, I go there and I try to speak out, but I can't, because I'm so angry. He says, calm down, Jessawala, calm down. My father says, the principal says, Father Gross was his name.
Gross?
He was a French father. But he was really, at least he must be in the subtle plane, not gross, because he was very kind. So he tells me, calm down, Jessawala, calm down. What is it? So then I, of course, started blurting out, that look at my hands, this. But what happened? You must have played mischief or something. I said, I was not the culprit. This time I wasn't. I tell you truly, but wrongly I have been punished like this. But I want to tell you something. And I said, what is it? Tell me. Calm down. And says, look at all these non-Catholics we are. And they call us always heathens and all that. They look down upon us. And so it's okay, calm down. What else you want? So we want to go and play during the time when they are holding catechism classes and scripture classes, or they should allow us to take part in it. We want to study if you give us the permission. No, but that's a policy question. I can't decide now. I will think about it, but you go back, calm down, go back. That's how it is. We are sent back. Yes. And most of us are moody and this and that, we don't know. And we'll see what he decides. So, without knowing, next morning we are going to the school, we are in the school, we are attending the class, the bell rings, summoning bell. All students and all staff are summoned to the auditorium there. So we all go there, not knowing what it is. Hope the father declares a holiday or something, somebody has died, some saint's holiday or something. That's how it is in our minds, at the time, children. So that's how it is. We go there, and on the contrary, it's a very serious affair. We have to all sit down and all that. And what is it? So all the staff is there. The principal comes out and speaks out, you see. And he gives a little history of the school and all that. And from its inception, you see, the policy of the school was that formally we never allowed the non-Catholics. He used to use the right word, he wouldn't say heathen or whatever. So non-Catholics were not permitted in the school, but then we extended our facilities for the non-Catholics, and they were permitted there. And then the policy we had chalked out was that during scripture classes and all that, they should sit at the back of the class and revise their lessons and all that. But now a complaint has come, where there are students who wish to also take part, participate in our classes, you see, or allowed to go out on the playground. So, after having consultations, we have come to this conclusion that those non-Catholics who wish to continue with their classes, scripture classes, they should attend, and those who do not wish to, they should sit here. Play, go and play. So what happened is that, we are very happy to hear all this that's happening. It means Father Gross has taken into consideration all our complaint and all that. We are very happy about it. But little did I think at that time that my name would be called out. So after all this is over, and that's the policy, and it's for you all to decide and all that. So Father Gross stands up there and he says, Jessawala. So I stand up from there. I was 13 years old, hardly 13, so I stand up. He says, well, you have heard what I said this morning? He says, yes, Father, thank you very much. He says, well, what do you wish to do? You want to go and play during the classes? Or would you like to take the classes and study the life of the Lord? I never expected that, yeah, I was put on the spot there. And if I were to say that I would like to go and play, I would look like a kindergarten kid, Now I am grown up, I have my self-respect now. So I was caught. I didn't know what to do now. So perforce I had to say that I will take up the classes, I will study the life of the Lord. I am very happy, he says, very happy. Go and buy the books, you see, and start the classes from today. Thank you, Paul. I sat down. And most of them were very happy. They were free to go out and play and all that. So I was caught. But that's what brought me to Baba. That's what brought me to Baba. Really, yeah. So what had happened was, in the meantime, after having met Baba and all that, we got closer and closer. Means my parents got closer and closer to Baba. So Baba would come to our place, to Nagpur, and he would come there. As I told you, in the early years, he would move about incognito. And he would be there, and he would tell my parents not to tell anybody that he is there. We had a big estate, and he would relax for some days there, and he would just be there and relax, move out in the garden, in the orchards and all that. So, whenever he would come, initially he would come at any odd time. If it is not holiday, then he would come when I am in school. So first day, this is first day, first time that he has come. And my mother describes it in a different way. But this is my experience. I am in school. I am not, at the time I am not there. What my mother describes is about noontime, and somebody walks inside the compound, and Baba and says to my mother, says, Meher Baba has come. And he asks the permission whether he can come inside and stay here for some days. And my mother scolded that person like anything, and where is he? So he says, there he's standing out on the roadside. He's in the Tonga. Tonga is standing at the roadside there, and he's there, he's waiting whether you want him here or you don't want him here. So my mother runs out and goes there and starts admonishing Baba. So is this the way that you come here? Isn't this that you should come here and you ask us the permission and all that? That's how it is. So what is there to ask the permission, Baba? Come inside and all that. And she gets him inside. That's her story. I don't know. I was in school. And, the thing is that my not eating lunch and all that was my great attraction towards games and being with boys and playing and all that. I wouldn't care to come back home and have lunch or anything of that sort. No, I would just give it up and would have game on the playground and all that. So I formed that habit from that time. So I don't eat. I don't want to eat at that time. So I wouldn't come for lunch also. I would be there. So when the school closes in the late afternoon, I am back home now. I take some snacks and go back for my games again to the ground. School was about 2.5 miles away from there. So I'm on cycle and I come there. The first thing I notice is somebody standing at the gate. And the approach road is a long way because we had a big place. So the gate is there, he's standing. So from a distance I see somebody, and as I come close, oh my, I got frightened, you see. That's Meher Baba. I had seen him, I had been with him. But him being there, the first impression,
something's wrong?
Yeah, something is wrong. It means, with me something is wrong, because I was a youngster, you know how it is. I'm not an angel, you see, at that age.
He's after me.
I'm speaking out frankly, you see, the reaction. And that could only be provoked by somebody like him. So when I come there, all of a sudden, you see, all that I could do is I threw the cycle down. I don't know, I'm doing it automatically. And I go there and bow down to him. And I said, forgive me. I still remember those words. So Baba gathers me up, embraces me and all that. He says, take the cycle. And he comes with me, puts his hand round my shoulder, and we walk the distance. And we come back home and all that. So then that's how gradually. Then he says, where are you come? School is closed. And I said, yes. So come on, we'll play. Yeah. We are gathered while we are going there to Meherabad, these things. So he uses the board, naturally. So it's there. I didn't have the guts to say that I had to go and attend the game. Match was there. Hockey, football was there. Football, soccer. And I was full back. Our team depended upon me there at the time, whatever it is. So I didn't have the courage to speak out at that time that I have to go back. And he said, now we'll play the games here. It's good that you have come. He made me feel that he was expecting me and he wanted me and all that sort of thing. And I didn't like it at all. This man playing with man, you see, a youngster, we want to play some rough games, you see, we can't sit at home and play some games of carom or this or that or something like that. We want something.
Fun.
Yeah, some fun, you see.
Some action.
So, but it was, with great difficulty, somehow or other I passed the evening, And I just remained there, being courteous and all that. To somebody who was kind and loving, the man who tended to my wound. That's how it was. Next day, I was very mindful. When the school closed, not to come the way that I came, unawares. And sure enough, I saw him standing there again. I said, that man is again there. No, this won't do. I must. So I took a circuitous route. I evaded him. There was a huge compound, So there was a wicket gate there somewhere, for scavengers and all to come and clean the latrines and toilets and all that. So I went through that gate, quietly stowed myself, sneaked into my side, my wing where I was, my room and my bathroom and all that. I had a good shower, changed my clothes, without a snack or anything. I just again escaped from that room and went away. And poor Baba must have waited there. I don't know how long, I don't know. It was there. In the evening I came back fresh after the game and all that. My mother says, you didn't come this afternoon, late afternoon? What time did the school close? What happened today? I said, I did come. She said, where? How did you come? You didn't come this way. I said, he was standing there. Baba was not there at the time. He was standing there. And so I didn't like, I can't play game with this old man like this. I came by that. What? Do you realize who he is? Do you play mischief like this? I said, what? I wanted to go and play. There is a match going on there. And yesterday I had to play here with him and play the game to find the middle finger and find that thumb and this and that. What is that for me? She says, do you know who he is? He's Zoroaster. He's the Zoroaster come again. I said, so what if he's Zoroaster? I have to play my game. Zoroaster, so what? By the time I had passed 2 years and my heart was set on Lord Jesus, you see. So, although I am born Zoroastrian, but there was no background of Zoroastrianism at all. All that we had to do is to compulsory go to our temple there and just stroke the thread this way, that way, and mumbo jumbo is there. All this rituals. What is there in that? So if he's Zoroaster, so what? What do I care if he's Zoroaster or something like that? She said at that time that he is Jesus having come again. That's a different thing. Because what has happened now is happening there now in my classroom. I am taking great interest. And my interest has gone to the extent where I excel all the rest of the Catholics. And I stand out first in class, in catechism and New Testament especially. And Well, they are all happy with this, that a non-Catholic is taking such great interest, and they all began to love me, and of course, little respect is created for me, and that is good for a youngster to feel that. So the youngster is very happy and is proud, and they are also very happy, thinking that a potential Catholic is there to be faced. So that's how. And I did love the subject. They used to teach us very well. They used to train us, put us into it. Not the catechism part, all that.
Life of Christ.
Yeah, that is nothing. That has nothing. But that was, of course, for the sake of earning marks, grades. That is necessary. But this is, heart is set on this. So I would say, Father, I don't understand this. What is the meaning behind this? This parable I don't understand. So Father will very lovingly would explain the parable. He would say that, no, the meaning behind it looked like a story. I don't know. What is this? It's not relevant to this. So then he says, no, the deeper meaning behind it is this. Oh, it's nice. It's sublime to be given the meaning, the clarification to this. At that time we never understood anything. It's wonderful. Then what happened is that as year passed by, something more was asked. And I got into the habit of every now and then putting my hand up and asking the question. Nobody would care to ask or anything. Nobody took interest the way the interest has to be taken. So I used to stand up and all, and Father would very lovingly explain. So once he said, sit down, it's a mystery, it can't be explained, you sit down. So I sat down, and that's enough. It can't be explained, understood. After a while, after 3 or 4 weeks, or that duration, something cropped up again. Jessawala, you sit down. It's a mystery, it cannot be explained. Sit down. Again I sat down without any grudge, because he was kind enough to tell me so many times, and once in a while he would tell me. And the third time I thought that, well, I am rebuffed. Every time he says that you sit down, means, what is this? So all of a sudden it struck me, the Lord has told us that He is going to come again. He has promised us, He is coming again. When will He come? To be with Him would be so beautiful. There won't be any mystery left. It is He who is there, and we'll be after Him, going about. There's no questions to ask them. But when will He come? And time and again this question would arise in my mind, when will He come? And in answer to my call, I still remember once or twice I even shed tears over there. You see. Longing for Him and all that. So, but I didn't realize that. In answer to that, He was standing at the gate for me. But all that is missed. That is Zoroaster, and this is this, and playground and all that. But now when it dawns upon me, it begins to live all this. You follow? So that's how it was. So when will He come? There will be no mystery then. It will be so nice. That's how days are passing by, and I am getting good grades and all that. I am taking keener interest, and I went through the whole hog of it, you see, or the whole sublime life of the Lord, according to St. Matthew and St. Mark and St. Luke and this and that and all that sort of thing. And that's useful now also. But it's all forgotten. All that is forgotten. Do you still remember all that you had learned? You still remember? I do remember, but not that much.
If you would reread the Gospels now, you'd be amazed at what you understand.
Yeah. So whatever it is. So the years passed by now. And I passed my school final, which is not a school final. My school was such that it was affiliated to Cambridge in England. So the examination papers would come from there. We had matriculation, that is the local school, and some schools, very high standard schools, were affiliated to the education there in Cambridge and Oxford. So there would be junior Cambridge and senior Cambridge examinations, final examinations. Senior Cambridge means final, then you will attend college. So I passed through all that, junior Cambridge and senior Cambridge and all. They are university examinations, they are considered to be. And it was fine. Very happy. In the meantime, what had happened is that I passed my this and I'm entering college. I had a special liking for science, so I entered science college. I joined science college, College of Science. And I passed my first year, second year. But before I passed my second year, that is inter-science we call it, intermediate. That is the time after passing the intermediate we change the lines, whether you want to become a doctor or whether you want to become an engineer, electrical engineer, this or that, or something like that, whatever the lines you pick your majors. So after I passed my first year science, my father thought of taking a vacation and we went to Nasik. And it was Nasik, but to my horror of horrors, that vacation, I thought that it would be spoiled. Why? Because Meher Baba was there also.
He's going to bother you again.
Yeah. What is this? Is it a vacation or is it going to be another sort of a retreat? I had learned all this now. Yeah. What is this? And my mother is so happy. Oh, Baba is here and all that. I said, what's there to be happy about it? And so forth. So again, we had to go there and sit there. And so Baba asked me, says, what are you doing? He was very happy to see me.
How old are you now?
Now I am about 20. How old must I be in 1936? 20, right. So what are you going to do now? So I had decided I had taken my father's line, engineering. Engineering? I said, yes. Where will you study? I said, in Banaras. That was the only college at the time, Hindu University. So there was a college in Pune too, engineering, but it had just begun. The long-standing, reputed college for engineering was there. So he said, you're taking up engineering? He said, yeah. Do you know gardening? I heard that you like gardening. I said, yes. Yes, I know gardening. Yeah. At that time, Margaret and Delia, they were there at the time, I think. 1936, no? They had just come. So they were put in a big bungalow there and they had a small garden. So Baba calls Margaret or Delia or somebody. Margaret and Delia both were looking after something. I don't know their setup at that time. So he calls them and tells Margaret or Delia, I forget who. He says, look, here's a youngster. He has a hobby for gardening. You can ask him if you want anything. Go take him down. So they were very happy and they had many questions to ask and all that. I'm there. But in the meantime, this is how the God-man contrives. So he got two people ready there to denounce engineering. Yeah. He got two of them ready, tutored them. I don't know what he must have done. But from the talk it seemed like that. So when I returned, after about 3/4 of an hour, women take a long time. They can't decide also what they want to ask. Whatever it was done, but it took me 3/4 of an hour. So I returned, and when I returned, Baba again points out to some people, men there. This youngster wants to take up engineering. What do you think? You are an engineer now? He says, yes, sir, yeah, I am an engineer. It's all made up a story. Did the Lord do that? Do you know? You are a padri here. Jesus would do that? Speak lies like that?
I don't know.
Yeah. So he is asking somebody, he says, you are an engineer? He says, yeah. He was though. It was not a total black lie. It was a white lie. He was a mechanic, you see. Yeah. No, mechanic, not an engineer. So he says, yes, I am an engineer. He's telling Baba, this youngster is wanting to take engineering. Is it a good line? He says, no. Engineering? What will it do? What will it do means, well, I'm fond of it. I want to do it. He says, would you like to go and fire the boilers and all that all the time, working in the fire? Oh, I said, what sort of an engineering is this man knows? He seems to be a fireman, not an engineer, you see. So I said, well, never mind, we begin with that, but we don't end up in just firing, stoking fire in the boilers. No, it's very, it will be harmful to your health and this and that and all that. Eventually, Baba says, you really want to be an engineer? I said, yes, I decided. So he said, then why don't you do my engineering? I said, is there any engineering class here with you? He says, yes, I've got a big engineering thing. So I said, well, I'll see, I have to attend my college yet. One more year to go, and then I have to join it. And then he says, where have you applied for, where will you apply? I said, Banaras Hindu University and all that sort of thing was done. I didn't understand what he was saying at that time, but I thought that he was playing fool with me or something like that. That's all. And then I could assess that man, that engineer. He was not an engineer at all. You see, he must have been some mechanic. Eventually, I had to live my life with him. Who was it? Kakabaria. Or Mascham. So, because he told me later on that it was he who did that. Yeah. So, that's how it was. So then, of course, I came back. I passed my inter science. It was summer vacation now. I applied for my college admission there in Banaras Hindu University, and everything was ready. Forms and everything were filled in. Passport size photos were needed. Everything has been done and attested by somebody, and this and that and everything. Whatever it was, it's a big deal to get entry into that. Now I'm waiting, marking my time, and I'm working in the garden as my hobby, and that the story comes. The wire comes, telegram comes.
Oh, right.
That's all. That's the end. You heard that. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Pardon? You didn't hear? You were not here yesterday? Day before you? No. Then it was a big place. Our place was not small thing. To give you an idea, we have these borders and hedges. At the most we see hedges and borders. We have these small little things, you see, for hedges and all that. But then to demarcate it and all, we use bricks sometimes, or we use broken rocks or anything like that. My father was such, you see, he wouldn't want to have all this sort of thing that is conventional. He called for wagon loads of shells, Shells, from the beach, So all those shells were put there, you see, for edges. Just to give you an idea. Pots, these pots made by potters. It doesn't look good for the garden, you see. He must have porcelain stands, you see, and hundreds of pots made from the potteries. My father was the inspector, boilers and factories, chief inspector. So potteries were under him. Weaving mills and cotton mills were under him. So everything would be, the napkins and everything will have all Jessawala names and all that. So everything, So gardens were such like that. Aviaries were there, apiaries were there. Very beautiful thing. So, and my father used to take an interest. He was a touring person. He used to go to in remote villages and remote places and orchards and gardens, and anything that took his fancy he would bring. And I loved also. So they were delicate plants. Summer in Nagpur is terrible. It's 121 degrees, 123 sometimes it goes, Fahrenheit. So we have to be very careful with these delicate plants. And he relied upon me. So I was very cautious about it. So I was working there and serious about it. putting them under shade and seeing that they are well protected and all that. So at that time, a telegram comes, and the telegram, well, the telegraph messenger comes on a cycle, and he rings the bell. So from the gate he starts ringing the bell and comes. Who is that person now? Dogs start barking and all that. So I pop up my head and I see the telegraph messenger. So I just continue. Says, hey, telegram, sir, telegram. So I take it. It's my name for the first time. Who could have telegraphed me? I opened it, and it was from Baba, MeherBaba. This is, come immediately and see me at Mahabaleshwar. My mother comes out from house, bungalow, hearing the ring of the telegraph man. Says, what is there, Eruch? Is there any, somebody came here? I said, yes, a telegraph messenger came. What is the telegram? So I took out from my pocket and gave it to her, and I started working. And when I'm working there, she reads the thing and she flares up and says, what are you trying to do? Have you read it? I said, yes. It's MeherBaba's telegram wanting me there immediately. She says, do you understand the word immediately? I said, yes, immediately can be tomorrow. Immediately means, yeah. It's not 2-3 days, it can be tomorrow. Tomorrow is possible, the next day. He says, don't you realize what you are saying? What are you talking? So I and she had a fight for the first time. Because I was so deeply engrossed in doing this. So she turned her back in a huff and went away. She didn't like my attitude. And I didn't. I was feeling sad about it, but what can I do? I can't leave the plants like that to die like that. So at that time, if I had known that he is the same one who had said, let the dead bury the dead, I wouldn't care for these plants, you see. But nobody told me that he is the same one. He said he is Zoroaster. So I had learnt all that. You understand what I am saying? There is a reference in scriptures. Yeah. So what happened is that I continued with my work. After an hour or so, again a telegraph person comes, messenger, ringing the bell. Again I look up, there is another telegram. And again it's in the name of Eruch. I open it. The same contents, repeated. And I wondered what happened, there's a mistake or something. But I compared, and what I found is the station is quite different. Baba was travelling from south, somewhere in Madras, and there are stations there. So going up. So the first telegram had come from a different station, this is the second, but same contents. Next junction it was. My mother comes again. Says, what is this? Is there another telegram? I said, yes. What is it? I take it out and give it to her. She now flares up. Says, I tell you what Baba wants you immediately. Come to your senses. I said, yes, Ma, I'm going. I'll go. I had that sad feeling for the first time, so I didn't want to make her sad again. So I entrusted the thing to my gardeners who were there, and I didn't have anything. There was no time time was up, almost up. So no packing, nothing of the sort. I still remember it was my pajama, my shirt, and the car. I sat I took money, mother gave me money, I took my car. I used to drive at that time. My father used to permit. We had a car. Imported car all cars were imported at that time. But this was an American imported car. Yeah. So, the name of the car was Auburn. I don't know. You all have it? Still?
My grandmother told me about it.
Yeah. It has the differential this and that. My father being an engineer, at the time. Yeah. So whatever it is. So my father loved the car very much. So I just drove the car and went there and parked it at the station, purchased the ticket and sat and went in the train. The constables were known to us. So I entrusted the car to the constable. I said, look, the keys in the glove compartment and all that sort of thing. And finished, that's all. I went. When I went away, of course I don't know what's happening here. My father must have returned from tour. seeing the car, he got a fright. Unattended car, his car. It was something very special. Who brought this car? And he goes to there and he asks the constables and all this. He says, we don't know, but it's there. It's well protected, of course. We know that it's your car. They all knew my father. So eventually he must have fiddled here and there and found out the key in the glove compartment, drove it himself back home. I don't know that side. Later on I realized what happened. It's to come now. So my father, when I go there and I find out, I go to Mahabaleshwar and I find out where Baba stays, and Baba is there. So I repeat for those who had not heard yesterday. So Baba is there and Baba makes me sit down. He's sitting on the floor. He says, I'm very happy you have come. He expresses his happiness, pleasure, seeing me. And he says, come and sit down. So I sat down there. Of course I bow down. I sit down there. He says, is it possible for you to leave everything and come on first? Is it possible for you to leave everything and come? I said, by your grace anything is possible. Wonderful. He loved that. And he embraced me and he patted me and says, come on 1st August. I said, all right.
Is this just you or the whole family?
No, me only. I said, all right. I said, here, you can go down. That's all. All this urgency and immediacy and all that, well, I didn't react or anything. I just got up. I again bowed down, went away. And the distance was this much from the door. I stepped outside. 1 foot is outside. And he called me back. Come, sit down. Sir. Will it be possible for the whole family to leave everything and come? I said, by your grace, anything is possible. His best is that all of you all come on 1st August. And he was very happy and all that. I don't know why I said all this. By your grace, anything is possible. I don't know. Still I don't know. But it comes out. When the time comes, it is so. Not that I was brought up in saying such things, you see. No, it was far from me. It happened. It is. So then I go back home, and when I haven't reached home yet, but I am now in my train, sitting in the train, because Mahabaleshwar is a place where you don't have railway carriages. What you have is nothing but what you call buses, and only one bus runs one day, and second bus. So when I am leaving the room now, after saying, by your grace, anything is possible, so Baba stops me there, says, where? He gets up. Says, where will you stay tonight? Because there is only one bus service. So I said, well, I'll stay in some hotel and all that. Somewhere I'll stay somewhere. He says, no, you stay in the cave. Have you heard of my cave? I said, yes, I have heard of your cave. By the way, he didn't call me Mahabaleshwar, it was Panchgani, right? So, have you heard of the cave? Yes, I have heard of the cave, but I don't know where it is. You ask anybody, anybody will lead you. I said, all right. But you know, there are tigers there. Pardon? No, wait, just see. But Baba says, but there are tigers over there. You know, the cave is situated in Tiger Valley. So I said, yeah. Aren't you afraid of tigers? I said, no. Oh, you are not afraid of tigers. And Baba beamed, you see, was very surprised. He says, it's so good. I want a tiger. If you see him, will you get him by the ear? I said, yes. That sort of spirit it was, you see. It means nothing. So I went, and he was very happy. Kissed me, embraced me, and sent me back. So then, and he told me to write what is the answer of the parents and all that. So I went back home. I'm not home yet. I'm at the railway station now in Pune, because the buses are there. They bring me to Pune from Panchgani. So I purchased a ticket, and nothing has happened to me. I'm happy-go-lucky young man.
You didn't go to the cave?
I went to the cave, I slept there, I ate, slept. Sleep and food, they are my fast friends, lifelong companions. I told you that. I can't miss such things. You see. Whether it be cave or a dungeon, I don't care. I get good sleep and good food. So, I was not afraid. Nothing. What is there? We had traveled and we had been in the depths of the forest. My father had taken us to all these places.
Were the bars up then in front of the cave?
Yeah, there were bars up. Yeah. So, Meherji has come. So now what happened is that in the train when I sit there, all of a sudden the train starts moving. It dawns upon me, what have I done?
Keeping your life over?
Yeah, not mine, but my father is having this post and all this big estate and all the friends, all the community. What's happening? You see, it's all flared out. You have no idea of my state at that time. It went on for a couple of hours. All the things, you see, that came. I was so burdened, I didn't realize what was happening. It all came. And just as it was overpowering me, all of a sudden a flash was there. This thought came, that after all, what have I committed? I said, by your grace, anything is possible. So if it is His grace, it will be possible. If it is not, it won't. I haven't committed anything. You follow? That is how the mind tries to compromise. Yeah, it is like that. So it's good. So again I calmed down and the train is going and all that. I arrived there. As soon as I arrived, the car is not there. It indicates that my father must have come.
Just 2 days later?
Yeah, only 2 days. Third day this is. And my father is there. As soon as I get down from the Tonga, he comes rushing at me and he just, he was a short-tempered person, self-made man. So he starts shouting at me, say, have you become so silly to leave the car unattended over there? Why did you do that? Oh, I said, in my mind I said, if he were to know, that's not the car, but everything he has to leave. What will he say? I was so frightened to hear this, Just this, I was frozen. I said, Father, I will explain to you, but let me go inside. I'm so tired now. I'll just come back. And he kept quiet, you see, and that's all. He just left, and I went, had a bath and all that, and came back. I assembled all of my family members. That means my mother and father and my 2 kid sisters were there. And my brother was very young at the time. He was born in 1930. He was 6 years old. No, 7 years old at the time. So, well, my mother says, what happened? What did Baba say? Well, I said, well, Baba said this. And my mother was so happy. She jumped with joy and says, how blessed we are. Oh, you have no idea how blessed we are. I said, what is the blessing about it? He says, do you realize what it is? That we haven't gone and caught hold of him now. So lest our grips loosen and we leave him, but he has come to us and has grabbed us. So we are once and for all his. That sounds logic. That's logic, yeah. Yeah, it is so. But after all, who is he? Zoroaster. So what? Yeah. So now, my father, I turned to my father, I said, he has asked this. Second question was that. My father, I never expected such a reply from him when he bawled at me at the time when I left the car. I said, Father, what have you to say? He says, well, what can I say? All this that is there around you all, that which I have gathered, was for your happiness. And if you find greater happiness at His feet, well, I am happy too. But do one thing, don't bother me to wind up the whole thing. You all are big now enough, you are big now, it's for you to do it. I won't do it. But I said, your signatures will be needed. He says, yes, I'll give my signatures whenever you want me. I'll give you. That's what my father said. So from the next day, it's only how many days? This is end of May, June, July. 2 months are left. We have to wind up the whole estate and so forth. And that's what we started doing it. Enough or more? Continue? Then continue means for 40 years you'll have to sit here.
They draw a circle around.
It went on and on. So what happened is, you want to hear it? Okay, 10 minutes more.
Short version.
So what happened is, then we wound up the whole thing. I could manage by His grace because He wanted it. I didn't want it. So what happened is, to dispose of the estate is not a joke. And but there was no question of money. There's no question of money that you wanted a price for it or anything. But at the same time, we had to be practical. And my father said, so what could I do? There was a family there in Nagpur. Every time they would come, my father's and mother's friends, I could overhear these people saying things. And they said, oh, what a paradise it is. This woman would always say, how I wish that I owned such a thing. I used to overhear this, and I didn't like this lady saying such things, you see, all the time like that. But it's good that she had said. And that's what I mean to say, impressions are such. Yeah, sometimes they help us, but the impression, mind is impressed with vague words or this or that, but it is. So, this was a white elephant. Who will take it? So the first thought, my mind again leads me, why not contact that lady who wanted it? So in the morning I go in the car, and I go to her house. And she's very happy to see me. She says, well, Eruch, what happened? What brings you so early today? I said, look, I have no time to spare now. Listen, you remember you used to pay a visit, you are paying visit to our place, and you always used to say that. But what a paradise it is. How I wish I had it. Would you want it? You want it now? We have no time. He says, what has happened to you? I said, nothing has happened. Does your father know this? I said, yes, everybody knows it. Do you want it or you don't want it? Of course. Is it really? Are you all going to sell it off? I said, yes, if there is somebody who wants it. So you are the first person I've come to. He says, wait. I'll go and ask my husband and all. So I said, come on, I'll give you some time, some minutes, no time to waste now. So she goes there and all that. So how much? For how much? I said, look, whatever you wish to give, you know the price of it. You know what it is. I'm not going to ask you anything that is exorbitant. Whatever, I'm not here for money. What is the matter? What has happened? What happened all of a sudden? I said, all that has mattered is they had heard about Baba. Because Baba had given a public darshan there. MeherBaba wants us and we are leaving within 2 months, and therefore we have no time. Decide if you want it now or you don't want it. There are many customers. She says, oh, all that I have. Wait, Eruch, please wait. I'd love to have it. And she goes back and forth and says, I have only 40,000 rupees to pay you. I said, 40,000 rupees for such a big property? I said, yes, I don't have. I said, go and ask your husband, ask your children who are grown up there. Go and ask them. So again she goes there and all that, and says, we don't have anything. Really, we don't have any cash. 40,000 can be spared, but we don't have anything more than that. Are you sure? It's all tied up in jewelry and this and that, and I don't want to disturb that, And she started pleading. I said, look, see, are you telling the truth? I tell you the truth. I don't have anything. I said, all right, it's gone. You want it for 40,000? Then do one thing. We had on our estate a main bungalow, and we had another big guest house and another small guest house, and then there were other offices. It was a big estate. I said, do one thing. You have all that you want, but what we'll do is have the main bungalow and the portion of the garden, and what we'll do is we'll take up all the shells and all the pottery works from there, and that will be a separate bargain with somebody else. But you want that. He said, but what's the sense in my buying? I want to buy that paradise. You see. I said, but then for that you want money? No, you don't have money, so what? I'm trying to help you. He says, please, now you will not need money. So I have only thought, all right, it's given. You want to buy it? All right, take it. So I go back home, tell my father, he says, what? I said, Father, what is there for money? We are not selling it for money. All right, drop the deed. I go to the lawyer, drop the deed. Signed, sealed and finished. One condition is that it will be, the charge will be given on 31st of May. Till such time we will stay. Now what about the servants? Lifelong servants were there. Servants were seen to post it. Everything was done and we managed somehow. The furniture was sold and all that. Everything was done. And we came on 1st of August and met Baba. Baba had told us not to dispose of the car, but get the car. Bring it, yeah. In the meantime, Father had said that ask him whether I should resign and come, because only now 6 months more are there for me to have regular pension, retire and pension. So my Baba had written that no, tell Father not to resign and come, but take leave and come here, and then he should resume. So then I wanted to bring the car. So my father said, why bring the car? I'll need the car because my job is to tour the whole province. And I found a small cottage for him to stay there and left the car. And Baba told me to get the car. So we all go there, feeling very happy and myself feeling very, very happy, elated that I have done a job, you see. It was my first job. Yeah. So I felt my responsibility and I felt that I have discharged it well and all that. Of course, there was no money-making project there. Money-losing project was there. So when I went there, I thought that, well, Baba would say, well done and all that, you have come. So Baba says, you all have come? He said, yes, Baba, it's 1st August. Have you brought the car? Yeah. He looks at me straight. I said, no. No? I told you to bring the car. What did you do with the car? So I explained the situation. He had told me to please the Father and all that. So I said, he told me that I should please the Father, and Father said that the car he will need. So I didn't bring the car. This car that you have created on my heart will never be erased. This is the welcome. This scar that you have created on my heart will never be erased. This is the welcome I am getting after leaving the world. So I said, my father told me, and he told me to please my father, so I kept it. Okay. And then he looked around and asked my mother, father, how they are and all that, and then the life started. That's the welcome I received. Come to my world. Yeah. Now it's tea time.
When did you decide that maybe he was also the Christ as well as
then when he told me that I am the same, then when he dinned into my head that he is the same ancient one, at the time, yeah.
How long had you been with him from that point of August 1st before he started to reveal this to you?
So at that time there was no such thing. At that time it was just following him wherever he took us and going through the musts and all that, working with the mad and with the poor and all that sort of thing was done. But then, time and again, when he started seeing the people, then he started telling, you see. And I had no opportunity to read his literature or anything of the sort. No time.
You hear it from the gesture to deliver to the people.
First time, yeah. No.
First?
No. It's from the people. Not to further reveal. Why should he reveal me? Who am I?
You didn't become his interpreter immediately. You didn't read
No. I used to read, but the official interpreters were Adi, Baba's brother Jal was there. Then Baba's younger brother Adi Jr. was there. Chanji was the first one. Huh? Yeah, Vishnu Master. So many were there. Yeah. But he had taught me to read the board. When he used to come to my house there, he would tell me stories and all. That one I liked. Yeah. But I forgot to tell you, later on he encouraged me to go and join the games from that day onwards. You see, when he heard that
The second day,
So then each day he would encourage me to go and go. What's the game? Who won? This, that, and all that. And in the evening, he would tell me stories, reading on the board, and I loved that fun to read on the board. That's how I learned reading the board.
In those early months after that 1st of August, did you realize what you were doing? Did you have a warm feeling for what you were doing? It was just what your mother wanted, it was just the way it was. Just did what you were told.
Just that, what it was told. Everything was so veiled, you see.
No consolation or anything.
Nothing on the side.
Were you
But was happy, very happy. Very happy. The happiness within knew no bound. But I didn't know why I'm doing it.
why you were happy?
I didn't know why, I don't know. But I was happy.
And you were loving them all the time.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. But why it is so, I didn't know. Till this day, I don't know.
He was pretty accurate about that engineering.
Yeah.
I know.
You're an engineer too.
So he gave you a straight story.
Yeah. That's true. This is what transpired. And I said, what a fool he is. Is he an engineer? What was he? Although I was not an engineer, but I knew what from my father. Stoking fire in the boiler? What is that? That is engineering. It's fireman's job.
Eruch, when did you start to feel that you were beginning to love him?
I haven't yet begun to love him.
You haven't yet begun. Well, you know what I mean.
Eruch, let me tell you this: that when you say things like this, it's really, to me, it's the best thing I can hear, because so much of what you hear is you must love Baba, and
no, there's no need must or anything. All that you need is allow him to wield you. But I don't know my past karma or impressions of
Did he ever reveal when you had been with him before?
Huh?
Did he ever reveal when you had been with him before?
No, never did.
Do you have any suspicion?
He once told me that you were a king, great king, because of my very loud thinking and big things. I wouldn't care for small, tiny things. So maybe he just joked with me like that. You seem to be in your past. You see, you must have been a great king. Wield the sword. Let him play.
Wield. That's what you said.
Immediately we will solve this problem. They laugh at him. And even what we call so-called wise people of the town also, they said, he must be a fool. Anyway, they said, we have to make our father happy, so why not give him a chance? So he goes there, and he says, all right, bring all the 17 horses and make them stand in line. They started smiling, laughing and all that, but anyway they said, let's give him a chance. So now they were right, all in line, 17 in line. So this person is all right. What has your father mentioned? He said 1/2 to the youngest, 1/6 to the second son, and 1/9 to the eldest son. He said, all right, now you will have your share. He said, how? Then what he does, simply does is this. He just takes his horse. Yeah.